Hello, beautiful ladies. What's going on, active and attractive community? How are you guys feeling today? We're going to be talking about some new things today. It's another Thursday inside of the community. If you're here, I would love for you to say hello. Let me know that you're catching me live. And if you are on the replay, as always, please do the same. I love when you guys engage post live. Victoria Welsh is here. Oh my God, hello. Guys, I've been so excited to talk about the different bits and pieces. And Tanja made it. Oh God, ladies, I love when you guys show up because it is really beginning to feel like an active and thriving community. And the truth of the matter is that when we show up together, we're really able to lean into this message. Cambria's here. Ladies, this message is different because what I want to approach health with is the fact that we are walking around as leaders. And in order for us to stay motivated as leaders in our health, we want to make sure that we identify as leaders first. This is the number one difference I talked about last week, where there were my clients who had a strong sense of identity and my clients who just felt like they were who they were, but it was this ebbing and flowing of constantly trying to search for themselves. And most of our coaching landed in the identity sector. And once we got that down, that was whenever they were able to take action in their health. And so when we look at you as a whole, when we look at you as a whole woman, somebody who is out here, you're on a mission, you're ready to achieve great things, but you also know that you want to function in a healthy way. This conversation is more about what it looks like to be healthy as you do. So ladies, let's talk. Let me know that you are here. Come in and say hello. Guys, I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes before I really dive into today's conversation. If you are new to the conversation, I want to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing, okay? So if you've been seeing me talk, I've been talking about a concept called world building. World building has been a conversation piece that came to me about 3 years ago because I was asking myself the question, what's the difference between my clients who are wildly successful and then my clients who were really struggling? They were having to take the same actions as the clients who were successful, but the internal dialogue, the internal struggle was a lot different than the people who just got it. They had it figured out. And in sorting with myself, I had a lot of conversations with myself. I asked a few of my clients what they thought, what their perspective was. And at the core of it, what I noticed was that the clients who made it to the finish line, the clients who lost the weight, the clients who got the toned body, the clients who enjoyed the journey, the difference between this set of clients and the ones who really felt like they had an epic battle to try to crawl across to the end was that one set of people had a strong sense of identity and the other set of people were in the process of becoming. Now, the truth is that we're all looking for ourselves. We're always going to be finding new layers of ourselves. We're always going to be looking and trying to evolve. But when we don't feel like we know ourselves, the question is to ask, well, how can I find that? I want you guys to comment down below. Let me know, what is your sense of self? Do you feel like you've got a strong sense of self? Or do you feel like you're in the process of unraveling what that is? For me personally, my sense of self has ebbed and flowed. And I could tell you very clearly that I noticed that I was very, very identified around what it was that I was able to do. But when I wasn't taking action, there wasn't much left of me. I couldn't really tell you who I was when I wasn't overly busy, overly stressed, overly committed, overly doing too much. I really didn't know myself past the commitments that I made to other people. And it was a very long journey for me to really care about myself and how I felt as I was taking action. And this was the beginning of the development of world building. When I ask myself, what are my clients navigating? I always have to check in with myself first and see, Sammy, what are you experiencing? What is your commitment to your health? What is your ability to take action on your well-being? And what I noticed was that my ability to take care of myself also ebbed and flowed, very similarly to my clients who weren't seeing as quick of results. And the reason was my identity. If I wasn't grappling towards the end, if I wasn't pushing harder than what I was really willing to give, I ended up realizing the reason I was so off was because I didn't know myself. I was taking actions I saw on Instagram. I would read a book about fitness and I would try to apply that. I would see some new diet and I would take ownership and run with that. It didn't matter that I had a master's degree in my health. It was just that I was chucking after what it was that I was wanting to do, and I was trying to make things fit because I was moving so fast that I never slowed down enough to ask, what do I want? Santanja says, processing what I know from what I think. And this is the hardest part about identity, ladies, is because we've made it so far. We've made it this far without knowing ourselves at a level that's really successful. We've made it this far without knowing ourselves that sometimes it's like, wait, but if I made it to this point, like, what is me and what is it that other people have said that I am? This was my struggle, was that I couldn't tell what was me versus what other people saw me as, and then what I wanted to see myself as, what I knew deep down inside that I really was. So world building, ladies, is us taking the time to be very intentional, to take the time to really sit and ask ourselves, who am I? Who am I? Who are you? When we sit in the silence of who am I, we either hear an answer like that, or it's very quiet like this. Who are you? Who are you? Can you tell me? Now, the power of not knowing you and the frame of world building is us saying you don't know your world. You don't know your world. You don't know your style. You don't know your flavor. You don't know your essence. You don't know your gifts. You don't know you. And in the role of world building, as I developed it, as it came to me, I started realizing that the way this is supposed to go is that in order for us to help the world, we've got to know our own world first. Santanja, if you just had to put some language on it, my friend, what would you say your world looks like? What is it? What is your world comprised of? Just give me some descriptors of what you think your world is all about. If I were to tell you just a few things off the top of my head without giving away all of what the world building really looks like, is, my world, it looks like me connecting with other people. It's me really sitting down in a nice, easy pace. I create incredible things that almost kind of pop out of thin air. But whenever I'm creating, it always comes from love and connection. My world is very much about being connected. I need to be able to feel you. I need to be able to feel other people. I need to feel the moment. I need to feel my feelings. My world is very much an experiential endeavor. And I know that about myself. Now, back in the days where I was running rampant, doing whatever I thought I was supposed to do to make somebody of myself, I couldn't have told you that. Because most of the world will tell you that just do it. You don't need to feel connected. You're too emotional. You're too wordy. You're too much. You're too much. You're too much. And you don't need other people. These were the things that I would hear from the world, is that you don't need to be connected. You don't need to build relationships with everybody you meet. Just move on. Go take action. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. And so I did the thing. And very supernaturally, I made connections with people and places that most people wouldn't. But a lot of times I didn't feel good. Joanne, hello, my friend. A lot of times I wouldn't feel good about making those connections because I would hear from other people that you don't need to do that. So you're going too slow. Don't take the time to be intimate. Don't just go. And so I would run without doing what my world needed, which is to plug into you, to be able to spend time to look in your eyes and say, hey, how are you feeling? How's it going? Am I good? Are you good? Are we good? My world is predicated on connection. I need connection. I love connection. It makes me feel alive. Hello. You Sean too? What's up, sister love? Ladies, I need to feel connected. And there was a time even in my business in this case where I would take action. I would show up on the live, but either I wouldn't let myself feel connected, meaning I didn't want to be vulnerable in front of the camera or with my words to other people like you guys, or I would expect that you guys don't need to feel as connected as I would. So I would just try to rush through my live and get the point across without bringing in the heart. My world requires connection. Cambria, I know. Connection is huge for me. How many of you guys have been in situations, very powerful, awesome opportunity, like really great experience connections where, or opportunities where you could tell that it's abnormal in the room to be very intimate? It's like everybody's a little bit stuffier. Everybody's a little bit more like they're trying to be proper and correct. And you could tell that if you were to really ask them how they were doing, everyone would be like, why are you asking me that? This is the beauty about world building, is that when you know that you are made for connection, connection is the atmosphere that you're meant to bring into that room. If your world's lifeline, if your world's resource is connection, but the rooms you're walking into in this world do not have connection, what makes you a trailblazer? What makes you unique? What makes you stand out? What makes you a transformer? Is that when you know you're meant for connection, you will elicit connection in any room that you walk into. Ladies, the identity piece is that you know you're meant for connection. You walk into a room, the world doesn't quite receive you as quickly as you would like, but you stand up in who you are anyways, and you watch the atmosphere shift as a result of you being there. When you know your world, the world changes. So what we've talked about up until this point is that presence is a derivative of your identity and your ability to take care of yourself. Minder too, yes. Like when you have an awareness of who you are, you might be the bold person in stiff rooms. You might be the quiet one in very loud rooms. You might be the one that's just so happy to be here because you love and you feel all the things, and everyone's in business suits and they're like, who the freaking is this crazy lady? But when they stick around you long enough, everyone starts to feel a little happier when you're around. Or you might be the person that's a maid of order, and you know that there's a lot of people who aren't very decisive in making strong decisions, and your presence is order. People come together, they dial into action, they know exactly what their next steps are because they're a little too floaty. When you know what you carry, you take that everywhere you go. And this is what I mean when I say everywhere you stand, you are valuable, because the presence that you offer every room will feel the same for you, but you're gonna interact with it differently in different spaces. So Cambria says a strong sense of self and evolving and integrating that with what's already on my table. See, and this is a whole nother realm, because it's one thing to know yourself, but we've got to strengthen your connection to that. That's where we talked about the mountain of embodiment. Some of the things you might know about yourself, but you haven't applied yet. For me, when I realized I'm about connection, the universe started to challenge me around that. It really did. It became this feeling of everywhere I go, people are like, you want to connect? I had to build a wherewithal within myself to know, yes, This is what I do when I walk into this room. Everywhere I go, I'm on the realm of, I bring the realm of connection. I bring it. And as spirit works through me, everyone will eventually feel more safe, more comfortable to connect. But when I know that about myself, and I love that about myself, other people begin to too. Ladies, the first phase and the first pillar of leadership is presence. And knowing yourself, building your world, being familiar with your world. This is what we want to dive into. We want to make sure that you are locked and loaded, as we've talked about moving into 2024, as you're creating incredible things for your life. We want to make sure that your identity is square. As you amplify your strength in your identity, the goal from there is to make it bigger. We want to make this so big. We want to make you big. St. Tanja says, I'm working on my confidence in front of big crowds. We've talked about this. The second pillar of leadership is visibility. There are going to be places where our aura expands, where people can feel us in a small room, and then we get into a big room and then our aura shrinks. How do we keep it big? This is where health comes in. Your ability to take care of you because you know you value you see you recognize what you bring to the table. Ladies, health is your ability to align with you. You can't have health without an identity. You can't. You could do all the healthy actions. You can exercise. You can eat an apple. You can go to bed on time. You can do all the right things. But how many of you guys, let me know down in the comments, how many of you have done the health plan? You've started to run the miles. You followed the meal plan. And then it kind of started to dwindle after a while. Like you had a really good momentum. You got a spark, a surge, you were eager. And then the momentum started to shrink. How many of you guys have experienced health without you? I know that I have. The way this looks is we see other people's worlds change by doing keto. We see someone else started to swim, and maybe we should too. It changed their body. Maybe it'll change mine, Cambria. We see that someone has a scientific research study that if you go to bed by 7 p.m. every night, your physiology is going to change. How many times have you done the right things and you did not get the result? How many times did you do the right things and you lost your motivation? Ladies, the reason I believe we could do healthy actions in an unhealthy way is because what works for me in my world is good for me. But what works for you in your world, well, we've got to discover that. It's a discovery journey. What we want, ladies, is that exercise, health, fitness, nutrition, food, sleep, rest, sex, all of the great things that make you a healthy woman, we want those to align with you. If you hate to shimmy and shake and dance, but you like the feeling of lifting things that are heavy, increasing your capacity, seeing numbers go up, if that is your design, unless we decided that it's really good for you to move on the dance floor, why are you doing Zumba as your workout routine? If you know that you're meant to be free, but you were told that strength training is exactly the only way to get the body that you want, why are you calculating the number of plates you're putting on the bar when you could be dancing like a swan on the floor? There are questions we want to ask around health, because what we want is that your healthy actions amplify who you are. This is the next step for me, Cambria. I'm so looking forward to see what you discover as to what it's going to be. Because when you can find the actions that amplify you, I'm sorry, but we can't stop you. You will literally become unstoppable when we can find the actions that align and feel good to you. Your identity is only going to get bigger. Your presence is going to radiate. And here's what happens when your presence radiates. More people see you. When you're aligned in health with your identity and more people see you, you're not just going to get more interactions. You're going to get aligned actions. People offering you things, people asking you questions, people expanding you, people giving you compliments, people seeing you, people wanting more for you, people cheering you on, people finally understanding when they didn't understand before. When you know you, people are not confused. And if they are, you will have the language to express to them. What we want from health is that what you're doing, the actions, make you bigger. Because everywhere you walk, everywhere you stand, you're valuable. Ladies, health is not just fitness. Health goes in to your social health, your communication health, your financial health, your emotional health, your mental health, your occupational health. Imagine finding health in the way you speak. Imagine finding health in the way you allow your relationships to come into your life. Imagine having healthy career moves and never taking action further than what you know your capacity is. What if you had healthy relationships with your parents, healthy time management? What if you had healthy everything? How aligned would you feel with yourself? How healthy would you feel in knowing that you have your back? What if you knew that you would not cross a boundary for you? This is what health really is about. When you know your world, you can actually have your back. And when you are supported, when you are supported by you, ladies, that aura that I'm talking about, the presence aura, I don't think you understand what comes to you after you access that. So let's hear Yushan's off-subject comment. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, you bring connection and you are contagious. I love when I see you. Your energy pulls and attracts the best in others. You have the best hugs. Give me some of them. I just love you. No resistance over here. That means the world to me. Because Yushan, let me express how this has shown up for me in the past. You experience my aura. Here's the truth, ladies. Our presence is going to always speak louder than anything we say or do. It's always going to be louder. But what happens is that our aura is going to tell the truth, but our actions, when we're in unhealthy action, when we're doing things that don't quite align with who we are, what happens is that people get confused. They're like, wait, you give me a huge aura of confidence, but you're telling me that you're scared? Wait, you don't know what to say? You talk negatively about yourself? Wait, that's not the vibe I'm getting from you. How are you? And so Yushan, for me, because I didn't know myself, and I would do things, I would take unhealthy actions, what would happen was my experience of me did not match what deep down I really knew about myself. Other people would say, Sammy, you're great. You're so smart. You're wonderful. You're so kind. I love how you listen. I love your friendship. I love. And I was like, I love that you love me like that, but I don't have the same sentiments for myself. What's really cool now that I've owned me and I'm still finding bits. I'm still gathering data. We're always going to be reaching for more. Is that, Yashawn, when I hear you say this now, I can finally see what you see. I can feel what you feel. I know what you mean. And it's this new level of loving me. But the benefit of understanding what you're sharing is, one, I get to say, girl, thank you. I love that you see that in me. This is what I want for you to experience in me. And thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being on my journey with me. Thank you for seeing me. I've built this. I've worked for this. I've tried to become this. I've climbed the mountain of embodiment. Thank you. And because I can see me, I get to experience everything that you experience about me. My work to give myself what I give the world is world building. Because now what's happening from my eyes, this is from my lens, now what it feels like is I give me what I need for me. I put healthy actions on. I can reference my world. I know who I am. I know what I love. And then I'm so overfilled because I've given myself what I need, that now when I look at you, I've got more to give. Every single one of us should be able to give the gifts that we give to the world back to ourselves. And the pain of a very, very abrasive, exhausted, angry woman is that what she's looking for is that someone, anybody, would give to her what she gives to others. That was me. I would give everything. I would give anything. I would give anything to everybody else, not to myself. I want you guys to experience you. I want you guys to receive from you. What this does is this ends up closing the doors for any type of codependency to happen between you and another, because you already are, what's the word I'm looking for? You're already utilizing the resources that you have to give. Yashawn, I'm so grateful for your comment because, one, it allows me to make this point, and two, it just feels really great to receive. So thank you. I love you so much. Ladies, this is the prime example that if you notice you're deflecting comments, compliments, opportunities, suggestions, perspectives, and other avenues to your greatness from other people, it's typically because you haven't yet let yourself receive the same compliments from yourself. Now, as we're looking towards our leadership, what we want is that we are leaders who need nothing. It's not to say that we won't have moments where we won't require help. It's not to say we're always going to have it together, but it's recognizing that the things you already know about yourself, the things that you love about yourself, the things that you have realized about yourself, you're letting those rivers flow within you. You're not giving from an empty cup. And if there are cups you know that are not quite filled yet, when you're aware of your world, you can say, hey, friend, hey, Cambria, hey, Yashawn, hey, people. This is an area I know you see in me. This is an area I see in myself, but it's not quite developed yet. I can only give you this much of me in this way right now, but I am working on it. I'm expanding my capacity. I'm learning more about my confidence. I'm learning more about my voice. I'm learning more about my action taking. I'm learning more about my time management. I'm learning more about my health. I'm learning more. I'm in the process of becoming. So I have it together in these areas over here. I can provide in that way. But in these areas, they're still under construction. And I want you to know this is how much you can expect from me. This is healthy communication. And whether we're talking to our spouses, our daughters, our friends, our bosses, our coworkers, a stranger, our clients, we want to be so clear about what's happening in our internal worlds that we can say, this is me, this is almost me, and this is not me at all. No codependency, full self-propulsion, and the ability to know when and where we need help. It's coming from a completely different place. Cambria says, I'm also moving towards premenopause, and there's a whole new world of discovery there. Like, how do we even traverse journeys we've never gone on? Like, this is huge cultural context that I am not down to subscribe to. What I'm hearing from you is listen to my body more intently, 100%. I hope you guys are able to make it next week to 3 days of world building, which I'll share with you guys about in a little bit. When you see yourself as a planet, you're going to recognize there are going to be seasons, there are going to be ebbs, there are going to be storms, there are going to be natural disasters, there's going to be situations around you that create another dynamic and spin on what was currently you. The truth is that your world is always the same, but the context will change. And if you do not have clarity on your specific planet, you will get confused. Premenopause, how do you navigate that until you navigate it? It's kind of like motherhood, like how no one can tell you until you're a mother. When you are connected in with you, you will always know your North Star. And Cambria, in your case, people have a lot of opinions about health. They've got a lot of opinions about how to be a mother. They have a lot of opinions on how you need to show up as a citizen. There's a lot of opinions out there, and everybody is speaking from their own world. So when we can know ours, we can make a much more educated and healthy decision. And then when we really know it, we can communicate to others why we've chosen what we've chosen. We can stand in it because we know who we are and ultimately define where it is that we're going. I love that, Cambria. I'm sending you all the love there. I'm so happy you're in alignment with how you see you. Oh, girl, I just can't stop loving. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Cambria. I would like to be an awareness of being that I'm 44. Maureen, hello. Oh, God. Like, there are so many things that we get to traverse on this life, and I never want us to feel like we're at odds. I think this journey that we're on is stupendous. I think the journey that we're on is unique. And I think that our fortune that we get to live on this earth at least one time is so powerful that the only thing that's been missing is our sense of authority and our sense of presence with who we are. When we can find our presence, we allow ourselves to be visible. And visibility does increase what happens to us. But it doesn't matter what happens to you when you know who you are, because all you get to do is you get to decide, you get to create, you get to paint, you get to build, you get to just experience this life, which is ultimately what we were always meant to do. We just got confused and lost along the path. So Cambria says, and in fitness and health space, I haven't seen the integration of that. It's not a one size fits all. It's not. Most people try to go fast, and that's the reason the fast people fall. And we can go slow and listen and hear that intentional voice, that intentional pace. This is where we end up building and building and building up to where we know that in this season, I'm choosing running, and in this season, I'm choosing rest. We get to let rest be a part of the equation. But the world will tell you, no, in 6 weeks, you should lose 50 pounds. It worked for somebody and good for their world. But for yours, it might break everything, and we don't want that. We don't want that for you. So ladies, the health conversation is something we're going to dive in much deeper next month. But right now, I want us to step into a really strong sense of identity. Identity. You guys will hear this from me over and over and over again. It's essentially this thing where if we go further together in my world, if we go further together and I don't know what your world is, it's going to be very difficult for us to evolve. It's going to be difficult for us to shape you into who it is that you want to become. Because if we don't know who you are, what are we building? We want to find the blueprint of your architecture. We want to find the blueprint of your architecture. And you should not have your eyes on anyone else's paper but your own. Because when it's time to build, you will create. But why create someone else's thing when that person is supposed to be responsible for their own? We want that you create yours. And we should experience it here tangibly on this earth, in this dimension, on this planet. I want to see what Santanja, what Cambria, what Maureen, what Yashawn, what Joanne, I want to see what you guys build for yourself. I want to walk into your home and feel you there. I want to feel you in our relationship. I want to see the business, the service, the vision that you're meant to build. And I want to be able to say, yep, that's Cambria. I don't even have to walk through the front doors. I can tell that's Cambria. I know her world. I love it. I can tell. I'm going to be stepping into her doors here in just a second. I want to see you. I want to see you. And when we do the world building process next week, ladies, this is going to be a very, very fun way to get us started on that definition. So let me tell you, I'm going to transition a little bit, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what the 3 days of world building is. This is going to be a signature concept here in the active and attractive world. So in my world, this is a signature concept. My husband calls me the mother of worlds because he knows that in my world, I'm meant to help other people build their world. And so what you're going to see is we're going to play together during the 3 days, and we're actually going to host this event in a separate Facebook group. So I debated back and forth, should I host this here inside of this Facebook group or do something separate? The reason I want to do something separate is I much prefer to keep everything inside of this group, but we're going to be doing some creative homework exercises, and I want all of this to be in one spot where it's easy to access, where it's easy to see everything, and for us to just be able to play in a fresh new space. So right now, the 3 days of world building is going to start on Brandy. What's up, girl? We're going to start on Monday. So we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of building your worlds. And then Thursday, we're going to reconvene back here and talk about it. Okay. So the intention of 3 days of world building really is to, you saw that part, keep your eyes on your own paper. It's like we want to figure out, what is your paper? Are you a piece of construction paper? Are you a blank sheet of printer paper? Are you that like meshed up, like recycled paper? Are you freaking laminate? Like what are you? And we're going to do a very, very fun creative process to do this. So this is something that I don't like to do outside of this one context, or unless it's in my private coaching containers, because it's just very precious to me, to be honest with you. And it's very unique. But the process, I think in the psychology world, if we got a psychologist to come in and see what we're going to do, they're going to be like, oh yeah, this is something that helps people playfully explore the depths of their psychology. So we're going to get tangible. We're going to get picturesque. And every time I ask people the first question of the world building process, everyone, I don't care how tense they are in their day, everyone goes, well, I think I would. And everyone resorts to becoming a very playful small child. And I just think that is so powerful, so unique for us to just be able to play for a second and see what your world is made of. Now, what I want from you in that experience is that you go into it with a playful mindset. And I want you to keep in the back of your mind, that the intention is so that you come out of this experience to now walk around as if you are your world. The goal of passing through 3 days of world building is that you leave on the other side having ushered in to your life exactly who you're meant to be. I want you to function as your world and then make decisions from this space. Why? Because when you can really playfully feel who you are, no one, ladies, nothing, no situation, no body can stop you. I wish I could just show you, which I will, I guess I will, but I want to show you now. You will become unstoppable, because when you know your world, it's the only thing you need to reference. So ladies, yes, walk around as if you are your world. Okay, Brandy, I will see you very, very soon. I want you to know that there is something out there that is so clearly defined as you, that you can create a brand off of it. You can create a business structure off of it. You'll be able to create your language off of it, and how you speak to people. You'll be able to decide how you really want to interact with people. You'll be able to tell how to spend your time. You'll be able to decide what homes you want to build. You get to play in so much intangibility that you'll be able to find very tangible answers that are only designed for you. So I want to invite you ladies, and my preference, my big ask is that if you know somebody that would want to do this with us, please invite them. Please invite them. Let them know. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit throughout just my social medias, but I'm not pressing very hard this round. Over time, like I said, this is going to be a very staple piece of anybody who works with me in the Active and Attractive brand, because when we do deep business consulting, or we just focus on your health, I'm always going to reference back to you what's in your world. That's going to be the main key. So this is a little bit of a maiden voyage. I've done this program before with a few people in a few different rounds, but we're going to bring it back again. It's been about 2 years. So it was this time last year that we did it. So we're going to bring this back around again. And the event is actually going to be, it's going to be on Monday. Yeah, it's going to be Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. So I'm telling you a lot without telling you a lot. And I appreciate you ladies for your excitement. I'm going to see, Santanja says, I need this because procrastination keeps trying to take over while I'm in my decision making on who I want to become. I believe it is a fear-based, but I'm not giving up. I deserve the new version of me. I'm telling you, thank you for saying that, Santanja, because there's no fear in this definition. When you do this, you'll see what I mean. On day 2, we're going to do it. There's no fear in this definition. It is literally crafted from the depths of the internal child that's in you. It is so much fun. It is so much fun. So you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now the offer is free. So everybody, all you have to do is just jump into the Facebook group. I'm going to let everybody in on the day of, so I'll give you guys more cues and instructions on what to expect, but we're going to keep this as playful as we can. And I'm going to share inside of this Facebook group the link to the other Facebook group. All right. So with that being said, I know there's mystery here, but I want you to stay curious. I think that the best leaders have no clue what the heck they're walking into. And what I want you to trust is that who you are right now is all you need to make this next step. It's all you need right now. And we're going to go into the depths to figure out who you are. We're going to talk about health all of next month. And we're going to see how we can partner this identity that we find with you in with some more healthy action. When we combine that, my hope is that by the end of next month, you can really feel like you're radiating as you begin to step into 2024. So while you ladies are here, if you don't mind me asking, I want to kind of do a quick recap of what we've been talking about over the last about 2 months. Where have you been with your visioning for what 2024 is for you? Do you feel like you have a little bit more clarity? We've covered a lot of things very fast. And if you've missed any lives, you might have missed out on a couple of stuff. So I would love for you guys to go back and review. But as you've been preparing yourself for 2024, we still have over 6 weeks until 2024 gets here. Are you clear about what it is that you're wanting to build in 2024? What quadrant it is that you're wanting to focus on? And 2, how has your preparation been going? Some of us have been doing daily actions. How has that been going? What have you noticed about yourself? What's working and what's not working? I'd love to sit here for a little bit of time and give you some time to see if you guys want to ask questions or if you want to know more. Let's have a quick talk. If you're all good, you can tell me you are all good and that you're loving this. Give me a quick shout. Where are you guys at? Are you ready for 2024? Are you kind of like, I don't know, I haven't really decided yet? You so deserve this, Santanja. I miss those lives. It's all good, Cambria. So basically, it's like, what do you want for yourself? What do you see for yourself in 2024? Is there like a business goal you want to hit? Is there a relationship depth you want to hit, like an improvement in your relationship? Is there something you want to improve about your home space? I'm loving this. You ignited me. Ah, yes, yes. Yashan, I'd love to hear too from you if you can. I know this is on the spot, but I would just love to hear, like, what is it that you're wanting for yourself in 2024? And here's the most beautiful thing, ladies, is I'm asking this question for everybody. So if you don't know, this is for you too. If you don't know, I want to challenge you to try to know before you start. Because in 2024, what most of us have decided, or most of us do, business and health. I love that, Cambria. Yes. What most of us have typically, how we've approached the new year is we just kind of bust into January 1st and we never really ask ourselves the question, like, what am I doing? So we want to talk now so that you can mentally prepare. And with these mental concepts, I want you guys to be aware of, like, oh, okay, I need to prepare. I need to have my actionable clarity. I need to look at this as a mountain that I'm climbing. I'm trying to radiate my aura. Like, I know there's a lot of dimensions, but I want to see if you guys have anything defined. Business and health. So those are the two quadrants. I love that. Education and etiquette classes. Ooh, etiquette classes. I haven't heard. I'm thinking of like the debutante. Like, what kind of etiquette classes are you talking about? I want to hit my business goal and walk into the leader that I've always knew I was capable of being. Yes, that. I am in agreement with you here, girl. I want to bless that goal. Let's go. Let's go. That is the vibe. Okay. So as you ladies are talking to yourself, I want you to filter it through the very narrow lens of, all right, I want to hit my business goals. I want to be healthier. I want to take these education classes. I want to find more etiquette. I want to do all these things. These are the visions that you have for yourselves. Now, how can we bring you back into first person view and function and move towards these goals from the architecture of who you are? This is why I asked. I want you to reconsider these same goals through the lens of you. Through the lens of you. All right? So we'll come back around to this very soon. But in the meantime, ladies, I would love to hear your updates in the group. And if you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask. I love you guys so much. Here's to becoming more active and attractive. And I'll see you guys next Monday in our Facebook group, in the 3 days of world building. So I'll give you guys more details there. If you have any questions, please message me. I love you. Thank you, Cambria. I love you guys. All right. Bye.